Dyke, check, 1, 2, 1, 2.
OG Courts, they are.
D Styles in the cut.
Domski in the cut.
We are Dykes on a mic, and you are tuned into Dyke Dilemma's quarantine questions. So, without further ado, let's get into dilemma 1. No dilly, no dally. All right. I'm seeing this girl. Well, before quarantine ruined life. I say quarantine. Anyway. And we have amazing sex. She was my first strap, etc. Our sexual chemistry is through the roof. She's adamant she doesn't want a relationship or monogamy ever, which I'm fine with. But she calls me every day. We speak for hours, and at one point she was coming to see me every weekend. Again, all of which I'm fine with. The issue: whenever we're at the same motive, she basically blanks me and barely interacts with me, even in cases when she knows damn well she's coming home with me. As discussed, we arrive together. Is this weird? I tried to raise it before and we got into a huge argument because she thinks I expect her to be all over me when she's single and free, which I don't. But, you know, come catch a wine or take a shot with me, at least A. Join me and our mutual friends turning up for a bit. It just feels mad hot and cold otherwise.
Is she straight? It sounds like a spaghetti girl type of move, but no, I'm playing. Up and down, up and down. This one is just higgy. I think the lines have just been blurred because you lot have been on the phone all the time. And it sounds like when you go to the club, she's leaving you because you're essentially spoiling her market because she don't want to be in a relationship with you, but she might want to be in a relationship with someone else. Like, right now, you lot are just sex and that's it. And the phone calls and all that, higgy, I don't know, quarantine, boredom, who knows. But you need to cut that out. I think you need to have another discussion with each other and decide if you're going to be sex and leave it as just sex. If you're going to be friends, then you can do the whole friends and be on the phone, whatever. Or if you want to be in a relationship and have it all. But you can't be in and out. You can't be on the phone to me 4 hours and when we're in the club, you're acting like you don't know me. Like, that's a bit weird. Like, nah, that energy is very, very off. I think another thing as well is because it's your first time, you got that, like, soul tie in it. Like, you got that special place in your heart for her. And, brother, time to let it go. Time to extend the strap. Time to leave it. Time to leave. Either you keep doing your thing and you cut off these busy signals and let her know that she's dashing out these signals because she might actually not know, thinking, you know, you're my brethren, I'm just on the phone to my brethren. Let her know, you know what, this is making me feel a type of way. We're in the club, you're acting like you don't know me. It's weird. And then coming home, and then I'm assuming when you get home, she wants licky after the rave that she couldn't even say hello to you in. Brother, come on.
What I would say is, in terms of the whole situation, and, you know, it's one thing indoors and another thing when you're outdoors, it can mean one of two things, you get me? Like, one, she doesn't want anybody to know that you guys are doing a thing or doing stuff, you get me? Or two, she might have other bitches in the club. Now, for real though, like, she might have other people in the club that she's, you know, because, like, you know, she might have other bitches in the club that night, you feel me? So she's not trying to be all up on you and then decide, I don't know, the other hoes see and shit like that. You know how shit goes down. I would say as well that you should understand what I got. Like, the thing is, it's a bit weird. It is a bit weird if you guys came together. Yeah. If you guys came together and she kind of just ditches you to do whatever the fuck it is, and that's a bit uncalled for. But if you guys had come separately, like she came with her people and you came with your people, it would have been different because you obviously didn't come together. But for the fact that you guys came together, it's a bit mad that she's doing that. So I would say just be like, yo, like, what the fuck, you know what I'm saying? Or just don't go home with her afterwards, or just don't go raving with her. You get me? Go do your thing and look lit. And obviously she's gonna be in the club and she's gonna be like, oh, you know what I'm saying? So don't stress it too tough, especially like if you don't want it to go into a relationship, then don't stress it too tough because like there's no point really. You get me? Like if you guys are actually serious and all these things, then yeah, then but you could just ask her, be like, look, like why do I never see you? Like just and see what she says on it. But that's what I feel on it.
Darling. This is the classic case of someone wanting to have their cake and eat it too. The reason I say that is because you can have an agreement, yeah? Like, you can say, listen, I'm not really ready for a relationship. I'm not ready for monogamy. I don't want to be tied down, but I enjoy the connection we have, and I enjoy what we've got going on. You acknowledging the person in public will not change that agreement. Or it shouldn't, depending on the person. Like, I wouldn't expect it to. Do you know what I mean? Like, if we're both saying that we're happy with this and we're on the same page, why shouldn't I be able to take a shot with you in public or wind up with you in public? Because that shouldn't... I know in some cases it does end up changing it, because then the person will catch feelings, or they'll start thinking, oh, so you're treating me like wifey in public. Maybe this is going somewhere. Maybe I can change your mind, blah, blah, blah. But let's just say you are both on the same page and you have both agreed that this is how you're running things. She should be able to acknowledge you in public without it being an issue. It doesn't change the agreement. It doesn't change what you've got going on. But for me, the fact that she's not doing that kind of says to me that she doesn't even want people to know that, like, you even know each other, which is weird. Like, why? It doesn't really make sense, because if behind closed doors you lot are speaking for hours and all the rest of it, she's coming to see you every weekend, why in public must there be such a disconnect? That sounds like someone who's trying to make things appear different to what they are, which doesn't really make sense, in my opinion. It doesn't seem like it should be that way. So my advice to you would be to have a conversation with her. Whether she tries to turn it into an argument or whatever, that's her own personal problem. Have a conversation with her and say, listen, why do you treat me like this in public? Because it doesn't really make sense. Like, behind closed doors, we're on the phone for hours, you're coming to my house every weekend, but then in front of people, you don't know me. It's not really aligning. And if she's not willing to change that, then maybe it's time for you to start reeling it in. Do you know what I mean? Decline some of those calls, Sha. I beg, you have other callers, you have other admirers that are waiting. Every weekend, nah. Fortnightly. Do you know what I mean? Because clearly, what she's saying and what she's doing it's not really making sense. Like, I'm all down for people having, you know, whatever kind of relationship works for them, or whatever kind of agreement works for them. But I don't see any reason for her to have to be acting like that in public. Do you know what I mean? Like, why does it have to be so secretive? It don't really make sense to me. So I would say have the conversation and put your boundaries in place and make it clear what you will accept and what you won't accept. And if she can't get down with that, and if there can't be any kind of compromising in the situation...
So let's get into dilemma number 2. So it says, help, I need a source for single and wavy starts. I'm 25 and feel like all the sexy studs in London are either 1, pushing 30, which is fine and in long-term relationships, 2, off the scene, so pretty much inaccessible, 3, below the age of 23 and doing fighty off the lick, 4, only attracted to straight women in bodycon and heels, psychos when there is vibes that licks back all around you. I'm not fetishing masculine presenting women, by the way. I would just like to know where to meet more. Where could you meet studs? You know what? Yeah, it's actually a mad one. Like, I feel, you know, like you have too much terms and conditions. That's what it is. You got too much TNCs, man. With all these TNCs, you're not gonna find no one, and that's no. I'm actually being for real. Like, you have to kind of. Obviously, I know everybody has their preference and all these things, but when it comes to, especially in the LGBT community, our scene is this small. You feel me? So it's a thing where there's only so much like places that you can go to meet stuff. You get me? Like, for instance, all the gay events and all these things. You get me? So yeah, that's pretty much all the places that you could go, knowing full well that you would meet, you know, LGBT people. It's hard to say otherwise. I don't think there's a specific hideout that studs are hiding at, or do you get me? Like, I don't think there's a specific place that studs are hiding. It's just a matter of going through, you gotta go through the motion, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta go through the chaff to find that diamond, you get me? You have to do all that. You can't just be like knocking everybody that's coming your way, because obviously there will be some idiots, don't get me wrong, but you have to, like, especially when you're single, you have to just, I'm saying, like, you have to do, that's the good part of being single anyway. You get to know a lot of people, yeah, and you're gonna find out who, you know, who's for you and who isn't for you. But in terms of where can you meet wavy studs, I genuinely couldn't tell you, because I don't know where wavy studs are. I'm not looking for no wavy studs, you get me? But no, like, I just think personally you have to, yeah, like, predominantly LGBT events, you know, that's your best bet, you feel me? Other than that, I don't know what to tell you. But definitely just be a bit more, like, open to, you know, I'm saying there might be a few people that surprise you. There might be a few older people that, you know, you feel me? Like, there might be a few older people that you fucks with and all these things, you get me? So just kind of have an open mind about finding somebody, and don't force it at the end of the day. Like, these are things like being single. You can't force nothing. Like, you can't say, yeah, today I'm actively going out to find some studs. Like, let it all come to you. It will come to you. Like, it always happens. You get me? Like, when you're least expecting it and all these things, you find the right one. Until then, keep hunting. Maybe go on some, like, I don't know, all these apps. I'm not really sure. Like I said, I don't know. But until then, yeah, just keep positive and, you know, see how it goes, really, you feel me?
Dilemma number 2. Man, I say triggered, pushing 30, long-term relationship, attracted to straight women. Man said in bodycon, and do you know what? That's not fair, yeah, because, like, I'm assuming you're a femme. It's hard for studs to tell who's a femme and who's actually a straight girl, because y'all just the same. Like, do you know what I mean? With us, we're more distinctive. Unless you got a big old rainbow flag, we don't know. So you gotta give us a little blind there. Baby studs. Let's just take a minute for the baby studs. Please, as a community, we need to break the generational curse of baby studs fighting after raves. We need to make them stop. It has to stop. This cannot continue. We can't come out of quarantine and then baby studs will be fighting after the first get head to the where. It needs to stop. If you're a baby stud, stop fighting. It's not worth it. Fighting over these gyal. For what? For what? Oh, when will it stop? When will it stop? Anyway, where are you gonna find them? You need to put yourself out there. Like I said, it's hard as a stud kind of saying, it's hard for us to judge who's gay, who's not gay in the scenes. Put yourself out there. Hop into the Insta DMs. Like, Instagram is basically like the new dating site now anyway. So hop onto Insta. What else now? Hinge, Tinder. Mind you, I heard Hinge is more of a sex thing, but Tinder. Go to, like, bar, obviously after this. Go to bars. Go to different style events, not necessarily raves. Go to, like, I know there's like poetry nights. I know AZ Magazine, they do AZ Hub. Pretty sure they'll be doing one after this. Just go to different type of events. And another thing, not necessarily like gay events as well. Like you said, like, people are coming off the scene, and it's people coming off the scene because the scene is it can be a bit hectic and a bit he said, she said. Do you know what I mean? So people are coming off it. So you need to look off the scene. Like, you might find them at like a next event, like I don't know, a BFF Black Film Film event. Do you know what I mean? You might see someone there, or these networking events and all these little, do you know what I mean? Like, other different events, not specifically targeted for LGBT, you'll find some sexy studs. But yeah, man, like, during quarantine, hop on house party, swipe into people's rooms. We've all got house party at us as well. on Pandit House Party, who might be able to help you find something. Yeah, man, that's all you can do, really. Twitter as well. Just, you know, do a couple kikis to a couple people's posts, and then see where that kind of takes you, really and truly. But yeah, man, just put yourself out there, and not necessarily the gay motives only.
Under 23 and doing fighty, that demographic, you lot have too much energy. You have too much energy, because I don't understand it. You want to be doing at 4 a.m. after the party, after all the tequila shots and the sambucas. It's not really making sense. You have to stop that. You have to stop that. You're giving us a bad look. You're giving the mass presenting a bad look. It's not everyday fight. It's not everyday fight. Sometimes just tell people to suck their mum and just be going. Actually, no, because a lot of times sucking mum will get you into a fight. But I digress. The straight women thing is also a bit higgy. I get it, like, you know, boost for your ego. She's only gay for you. But at the end of the day, she's just there doing pillow princess when you're hurting your back every night. Like, what is really, what's the meaning? Like, what's the fascination with it? Do you know what I mean? There are women out there that genuinely like you back, not because they want to experiment or, yeah. But as a source, like, you're saying you need a source, like, I don't know, because don't get me wrong, like, I have friends that are, a few friends, not a lot, but I have a few friends that are single. They're pushing 30, like me, but they're single, and they're still out and about, and they're buff. But let me not even pimp out my friends. But I think the thing to know is that sometimes the most alluring people aren't the people that are doing the most in the rave, or aren't the people that are drawing attention to themselves. It's the people that are low-key in the back, holding their rum and coke, holding their vibes with their 1-2 people and just keeping it chill. So I think you kind of have to have a certain eye out for those people, because when you go into the rave, automatically your eyes will go to the middle of the room and what's going on there, or the person that's being loud at the bar. But for all you know, the love of your life has been at every rave that you've been to for the past 6 months, but she's just in the corner, chill. Do you know what I mean? Minding her business, minding her merry business. So I think there's that to keep in mind. And also, like you said, a lot of people don't really, their go-to when they go out on a night out nowadays isn't necessarily the scene. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not necessarily the gay raves. Like, speaking for me and my friends, like, we'll pop out to a gay rave every now and then, but majority of the time, we're in straight raves. And I understand not for everyone, that's not really comfortable for them. So to each his own. But at the same time, if you branch out as well in terms of the places you're going, you'll find those low-key, alluring, interesting, buff, mass-presenting women at straight events. Do you know what I mean? You'll find them at straight raves. And maybe the majority of their friends are straight, which is why they're not on scene, or why they're not, you know, I mean, doing up fighty and lick. So yeah, I would say that would be my advice. Maybe widen your net by going to more events and different types of events, and also keep an eye out for the low-key people, because the low-key people, they'll never make themselves known to you, but they're there. Do you know what I mean? They're there for the taking, they're there for the picking. So yeah, man, just pre well.
Final dilemma number 3. I cheated on my girlfriend twice. She knows about the first time and forgave me, but she doesn't know about the second. Should I come clean even though things are going well? Or is it a case of what she don't know won't kill her? No, you will kill her because you are a murderer. What is... Bro. Or gyal. Like, everyone's bro. Bro, neutral term. Listen, you obviously don't want to be there. You don't want to be there. Why are you there? Where you there, pon? Where you there, pon? Why are you there, fam? You don't want to be in a relationship. First time shouldn't have even happened. A second time. So you now have to go back to probably doing all the whole groveling, the higgy haga, the argument. Bro, you know what happens. Like, why did you do... I personally think that you shouldn't tell her about the second time, because that's just too heartbreaking. And I think that's a bit too much trauma. Like, she don't need that. But I think you should break up with her, because obviously you don't want to be there. You do not want to be there. You're telling yourself you want to be there. Maybe y'all have been with each other for years and you're just holding on because of time. But sometimes you have to let time go and let time go. Like literally, sometimes you just have to let time go and let it be. It is what it is. You don't want to be there. You do not want to be in this relationship because you cheated twice, bro. Twice. And yeah, the reason why I say don't tell her, man. That's just harsh. Twice. Don't you have manners? Kai, people.
Ooh, sticky. Cheating is always such a touchy subject, to be honest. You feel me? Like, first of all, can you just pull your ears? Because how are you cheating the first time? Been forgiven, and then you're coming back to do that. You don't respect yourself, or you don't respect your relationship. Because what the actual fuck? Like, first of all, I have to get onto you because, bro or sis, like, come on, man. Do better. There's no real reason for you to cheat, man. You get me? Like, you have. I mean, don't get me wrong. There might be circumstances around the issue, but like, bottom line is, like, don't just hold it down. Big up your girl for actually forgiving you. You know what I'm saying? Because not a lot of people will do that. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, it's fucked because you lot are in a good place in your relationship now. So, and then you've cheated again. So are you really? So what is the cause of you cheating if you're in a good space? Like, I don't get it. And absolutely, you should tell your girl. Yes, you should, because you're taking her for a mug and she's not a mug. So you better just tell her. So, you get me? You gotta come clean. You have to come clean. And I don't know, like, what's gonna go on from there. But if she forgives you again, just know that you've got a ride or die, and don't take that for granted. You feel me? Because that is just, it's not good, man. You get me? Once bitten, twice shy. You feel me? Like, just pattern up. Don't cheat again, and yeah, just like come clean to your girl. But did you cheat with a different person, or with the same person? If you cheated with the same person, it's curtains. It's actually curtains. If you cheated with the same person that she forget, nah, lock it off. Bye. Because you think nah, forget it. Yeah, forget it all. So yeah, that's another thing that I need to think about. Like, if you cheated with the same person that she forgave you for the first instance, then that's just a fuckery. It's a fuckery in general, and she should, like, you get me? I don't think she should have it, but if she does have it, like I said, you get me, like, pattern up and try to, you know, I don't even know what to say. Just try to be better. Try to improve yourself. Try to show her that you're not about that life no more. You get me? So that's all I got to say to you, man. But come on, man, fix up. Get me?
This is why cheating is stupid. It's stupid because look what you've gotten yourself into. And this is why I can't say you shouldn't forgive people when they cheat, because even me, I've done it before. But I think I was stupid when I done it. But you lead to situations like this because now the person has cheated twice. Twice. You caught life because she forgave you the first time. So how can you do a two? Nah. You have to come clean. Honesty is the best policy, so you have to tell the truth. There's no way around it, because your conscience has to be clear. And you should have thought of the consequence. You should have thought of that when you was doing the lashing and the dashing. So you have to come and tell her it's not fair if you don't. It's not fair if you don't. And whatever happens. But the worst case is that you don't tell her. And let's say you lot are doing well, because now you're saying you're doing well. Let's say you lot are doing well for years and years and years to come. You're building family, you're making plans, all the rest of it, you're traveling. And then somehow it comes out and you weren't the one to tell her. That's it. That's relationship done. That's no coming back. So it definitely needs to come from you. I can imagine it will be a very hard conversation. God forbid. It will be a hard conversation, but at least you can say that you were honest. Do you know what I mean? In the end, you can say that you were honest and you came clean about it. And whatever's meant to be from that point on will be. Do you know what I mean? But just at least clear your own conscience so that you can sleep in peace, and that's not hanging over your shoulder. Because if you don't admit it to her, you'll always be waiting for the day when someone tells her or she finds out somewhere, and that's no way to live. Do you know what I mean? So let's be living without that hanging in the back of your head either, because that's long. But yeah, that would be my advice. But listen, guys, that is it. That is the end of episode 1. I hope you've enjoyed it. We thank you for tuning in. We will be here every other week until they free us up. Do you know what I mean? But until then, stay home, stay safe. Social distancing means social distancing. That doesn't mean drink ups. That doesn't mean link ups. That doesn't mean nyash appointments, dick appointments, strap appointments. That's not what it means. So please, stay in your house. Join us for the next one. Episode 2 will be on the way shortly. Keep sending your dilemmas in. Do you know what I mean? Because we're still going, so keep sending your dilemmas in. The link is in our bio. Follow us, SoundCloud, Spotify. Keep up to date with all of our content in the meantime. And yeah, man, you've been watching Dyke Dilemmas Quarantine Questions. I am OG Courts and I am out.
It's your girl Domski signing out.
D-Style signing out, baby.